Every woman has felt it, that quiet shift you can't quite name. His words are the same, his smile familiar, but something in his eyes changed. You tell yourself it's just stress or work or health, but deep down, a whisper of doubt keeps asking, is there someone else? The truth is, when a man is hiding another woman, his actions will betray what his words try to cover. Subtle changes, quiet absences, patterns that, once you know how to see them, tell a story louder than any confession. Hi, welcome back to Journey After 60. In today's video, we'll uncover the 5 signs no man can fully hide, so you can see the truth for what it is and choose your next step with strength instead of confusion. If wisdom like this helps you reclaim your peace, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Together, we'll keep peeling back the layers of love, trust, and self-worth, one truth at a time. Because the first sign, it's the one most women dismiss until it's far too late. Sign number 1. His routine quietly changes. When a man begins hiding another woman, the first sign isn't always a dramatic shift. It's the small, quiet changes that creep in almost unnoticed. He's still coming home, still answering your calls, still saying the right words, but something in his rhythm feels different. Maybe he lingers at work a little longer, claiming deadlines that never used to exist. Maybe his phone is suddenly always face down, or he steps outside to take calls he once answered openly. These aren't random habits, they are subtle adjustments, his way of building a private world where you can't follow. Psychologists call this micro-withdrawal, a behavioral shift that often happens before emotional distance becomes obvious. And what's most painful is that these small changes can make you question yourself first. Am I imagining things? Am I being paranoid? But the truth is, intuition often notices what logic tries to dismiss. If you sense these quiet changes, pause and choose understanding over accusation. Respect his privacy and create a safe space for conversation. Sit down with genuine concern and say something like, "I've noticed you've been a bit distant lately. Is everything okay at work or with your friends?" This approach shows care, not control, and opens the door for honesty. Sometimes what looks like secrecy is just stress or pressure he doesn't know how to share, and your calm and compassionate presence can make him feel safe enough to talk. And if you start to see these quiet shifts, the next sign will make the picture even clearer, because his words will start to feel out of sync with his actions. Sign number 2. He creates a certain distance. I once watched this unfold in a couple I knew well. The wife, a warm and trusting woman in her 60s, often said she was grateful her husband wasn't the talkative type. He worked long hours, came home quiet, and never started arguments. To her, that calm silence felt like stability, proof that their marriage was steady and safe. But what she didn't see, at least not at first, was that his quiet wasn't peace at all. He was pulling away, slowly, carefully. Shorter conversations, less eye contact. Nights where his body was there, but his mind was somewhere else. By the time the truth came out, that another woman had quietly entered his life, the silence had already built a wall she couldn't reach through. Research from the American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy in relationship psychology reflects this same pattern. Studies show that when a man is hiding something, his first instinct is often to withdraw. Over 68% of men surveyed in marital counseling admitted that during an affair they talked less with their partner, not because they wanted to hurt her, but because silence felt safer than lying outright. And that's where the danger lies. Silence becomes the perfect disguise, lulling a woman into believing things are fine, while beneath the surface, emotional distance grows unchecked. Day after day, small moments of disconnect pile up. Shared routines become mechanical, conversations lose their warmth, and intimacy feels more like a memory than a living presence. By the time the signs become undeniable, the quiet erosion of trust has already taken root, making the path back to closeness far more difficult to find. If you sense that shift, the laughter that's faded, the conversations that feel thinner, the way his eyes don't quite meet yours, try to approach him naturally and gently. Suggest a casual dinner out, plan a weekend activity you both enjoy, or simply invite him for a quiet walk together. These moments create a safe space for reconnection, letting him feel your presence without pressure. By fostering light, genuine interactions, you gently open the door for deeper conversations, and remind him that your bond is still a place where he belongs. And if these words resonate with you, tap the save button on this video so you can return to it whenever you need clarity or strength. Here comes the third sign. The moment when the mask begins to crack and his actions start screaming truths his silence can no longer hide. Sign number 3. His words and actions stop matching. Deception rarely shows up like a storm you can see coming. Instead, it creeps in quietly, slipping through the tiny cracks between what a man says and what he actually does. At first, it might seem like nothing. He still talks about stability and loyalty, still says you are his priority. But over time, his presence begins to feel less steady. He cancels plans more often, spends less quality time with you, and little by little, everything else starts to take the place where you used to be. Psychologists call this cognitive dissonance, the strain of trying to live in two realities at once. To you, he may appear calm, even loving, but beneath that calm, he's juggling the weight of secrets that don't fit the life he's built with you. That tension leaks out in subtle ways, forgotten commitments, vague explanations, or a distance you can't quite name. This is why intuition matters. When words no longer align with actions, it's rarely coincidence. It doesn't mean you should confront in anger or spiral into suspicion, but it does mean you should pay attention. Because the moment his behavior stops matching his promises, the truth is no longer hidden, it's simply unspoken. Instead of reacting in fear or anger when you notice these shifts, take a deep breath and approach the situation with calm clarity. Have open, honest conversations about how you're feeling and create opportunities to reconnect. Plan small activities together. Share your concerns without blame and pay attention to how he responds. This won't guarantee control over his choices, but it will help you protect your dignity and find the truth without losing yourself in doubt or resentment. This is where the fourth sign takes shape. When guilt and fear, no longer hidden, start to creep into the smallest corners of daily life, showing you his silence and contradictions were never harmless. Sign number 4. Guilt and fear start to show. No secret stays quiet forever, not even in the calmest of men. Over time, guilt and fear find their way to the surface in subtle, almost invisible ways. Sudden irritability, unexpected mood swings, or defensiveness over small things that never used to matter. You might see him grow anxious when you touch his phone, avoid eye contact during casual questions, or tense up when topics like trust, loyalty, or commitment surface. These are not random reactions, they are signs of the internal storm he's struggling to contain, often without even realizing how visible it's becoming. Through my research and studies, including findings in the Journal of Social and Personal Relations, I've learned that over 70% of individuals engaged in emotional or physical affairs display heightened anxiety and irritability due to the stress of maintaining secrecy. This constant tension creates subtle behavioral patterns that women often sense long before they can fully explain what feels wrong. These shifts are not always about anger or distance. Often, they're about the quiet battle he's fighting within himself. Guilt weighs heavily, and fear of discovery amplifies even the smallest interactions, turning ordinary moments into reminders of the double life he's trying to balance. For women, the key is to recognize these changes without immediately blaming yourself. His tension and irritability are not reflections of your worth. They're signs of the storm he's created inside himself. By noticing these patterns calmly and clearly, you can prepare to address the situation with strength and dignity rather than confusion or desperation. When you notice these shifts, remind yourself to stay grounded and composed. Approach him with gentle curiosity instead of confrontation. Find natural calm settings, a quiet drive, a casual coffee, or even a relaxed evening walk where he can feel safe enough to share. This approach opens the door to honest conversation while maintaining your clarity and emotional balance. If this insight speaks to you, tap like and subscribe so you can easily find this video again and get notified when new advice is shared. As we move into the final sign, everything begins to connect because his attempts to control the narrative will only make the truth harder to hide. Sign number 5. He tries to control the narrative. When the truth starts to threaten his image, control often becomes the strategy. You'll feel it in the way conversations shift. Your sincere questions become interrogations. Your concerns are labeled paranoia. And the story keeps being edited just enough to keep you doubting yourself. This shift often creates a toxic cycle where you begin questioning your own memory, feelings, and judgment, leaving you emotionally exhausted and more vulnerable to manipulation. Common patterns include preemptive blame, selective honesty, and timeline rewriting. He may also flood you with extra details that sound convincing, but dodge the core question, or pivot to your past mistakes to avoid answering in the present. From my research, and supported by established work in the field, these tactics are well documented. The Gottman Institute identifies defensiveness and stonewalling as strong predictors of relationship breakdown, patterns that often spike when someone is hiding something. So, how to handle this with confidence? Start with kindness toward yourself. You didn't create this situation, and you don't have to solve it overnight. Stick to clear, observable facts like dates or missed plans instead of getting pulled into arguments about intentions. Ask calm, specific questions and watch if the answers stay consistent. If you find the story keeps changing, protect your peace by calmly setting boundaries. I need honesty and consistency. If that can't happen, I have to make decisions that are healthy for me. And if you truly want to save the relationship, inviting a neutral third party, like a counselor or trusted mediator, can create space for honesty and resolution. These signs aren't a verdict, they're a compass. If several have begun to cluster, trust your wisdom. Love survives transparency. It withers under stories that keep changing. As we reach the close of this reflection, one truth becomes clear. Seeing the signs isn't about planting fear. It's about reclaiming your clarity, your confidence, and your voice. Each shift you've learned about, the changes in routine, the silence, the mismatched words and actions, the guilt, and the attempts to control the story isn't just evidence of distance, it's information. And with information comes power. The power to choose what love, trust, and respect must look like in your life. This journey isn't about confrontation for the sake of winning. It's about standing steady in the storm, choosing dignity over chaos, and creating a space where the truth can no longer be twisted. In doing so, you're not just protecting yourself, you're setting a standard for the kind of love you deserve, one built on honesty and mutual respect. If this message has resonated with you, take a moment to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more conversations that honor your strength and your story. Together, we're creating a place where women don't just survive heartbreak, they rise wiser, calmer, and more in control of their own narratives. And may these 5 signs stay with you as reminders. Your instincts are valid, your boundaries are sacred, and your peace is worth protecting. Thanks for watching my video, and see you next time.